Judges chapter 15. Not long after, during wheat harvest season, Samson cruised over to visit his wife, bringing a baby goat, right? He was all, I'm gonna go chill with my wife in her room. But her dad was, no can do bro. And her dad was, dude, I totally thought you ghosted her, so I gave her to your bro pal. But her younger sis is even cuter, maybe take her instead? Samson was, okay, this time it's totally not my fault if I go all beast mode on the Philistines. So the dude caught 300 foxes, how though? Tied them up in pairs tail to tail, stuck some torches between them, lit them up, and let those fire foxes loose into the Philistines' grain fields, vineyards, and olive groves. Burn, baby, burn. The Philistines freaked and were, who torched our crops? And it was Samson, 'cause his girl got given to his bestie. So they torched her and her dad. Harsh. Samson was, oh, you wanna play like that? I'm not done till I get my revenge. And he totally wrecked them, hip and thigh, and then bounced to chill on a rock in Etam. The Philistines rolled into Judah and set up camp in Lehi. The people of Judah were, yo, what's the beef? And the Philistines were, we're here to tie up Samson and return the favor, you feel? 3,000 dudes from Judah hiked up to Samson and were, bro, you know the Philistines run this place. What were you even thinking? And Samson was, what? They started it. I'm just returning the vibe. They were, okay dude, we're gonna tie you up and hand you over. And Samson was fine, but promise you won't try to off me yourselves. They were, no worries man. Scout's honor. So they tied him up with 2 brand new ropes and brought him down from the rock. As soon as he got to Lehi, the Philistines started shouting like it was a party. But then the Spirit of the Lord hit him, and those ropes snapped like burnt spaghetti. He looked around, spotted a fresh donkey jawbone, grabbed it, and no lie, took down 1,000 dudes with it. Then Samson was jawbone power, bros. Piles of M. Crushed it with a donkey's jaw. After that mic drop, he tossed the jawbone and named the place Ramath Lehi, which totally means jawbone hill, or something epic like that. But then he was super thirsty and prayed, God, you gave me this epic win. Am I really gonna die of thirst now and get taken out by uncircumcised randos? So God split open a hollow spot in the jawbone zone, and water gushed out. Samson drank, got his chill back, and named it in Hakor, which means like Caller's Spring, or something rad. It's still there in Lehi, FYI. And Samson was basically the judge and head honcho in Israel for 20 years during the Philistine era. Judges chapter 16. So Samson cruised down to Gaza and spotted this woman who was working the night shift, if you catch my drift. Word got out, dude, Samson's in town. So the locals were, let's totally ambush him at sunrise. But Samson was all, nah, not today. And at midnight, he straight up yanked the city gate off its hinges, posts and all, hoisted it on his shoulders like a beast, and hiked it up to the top of a hill near Hebron. Total legend move. Later, Samson totally fell head over heels for this gal, named Delilah in the valley of Sarek. The Philistine big shots slid into her DMs with, yo babe, sweet talk Samson and figure out what makes him super buff, so we can totally tie him up and smack him down. We'll Venmo you a sick pile of silver. And Delilah batted her lashes, babe, tell me your secret. How can someone take you down and make you not such a mega hunk? Samson grinned and said, if you tie me up with 7 fresh bowstrings that haven't dried out yet, I'll be totally average. So the Philistine dudes got her those strings, and she tied him up while some bros hid in the room. Then she was Samson. The Philistines are coming, but he snapped the strings like burnt spaghetti. The secret was still totally safe. Delilah was all pouty and said, rude. You lied to me. Come on babe, tell me the real deal. Samson chuckled and said, okay, if you tie me with brand new ropes, never used before, I'll be weak, promise. So she tied him up with those fresh cords and yelled, babe, they're here. But Samson was nah, and broke free again like a pro wrestler. She huffed, for real Samson? That's lie number 3. Tell me how to actually tie you down. And he goes, weave my luscious locks into the loom and pin it. She did it, but when she cried out again, the Philistines are here, he just got up, totally chill, and walked off with the whole loom still in his hair. Delilah went full drama queen. You say you love me, but you're keeping secrets. 3 times now. And she nagged him day after day. It was relentless, until he was so done he could just die. So he finally spilled, fine, I've never had a haircut. 'cause I'm a Nazarite dedicated to God from birth. If you shave me, my strength's gone, and I'll just be some dude." Delilah's eyes lit up. Jackpot. She hit up the Philistines again. "Come now, he told me everything. And they brought that silver fast." While Samson snoozed in her lap, she got a guy to shave off his hair. Boom, his power faded, and she started mocking him hard. "Samson, the Philistines are here." He jumped up. "No worries, I got this." But he didn't know God had totally pieced out. They grabbed him, gouged out his eyes, ouch, chained him up, and made him grind grain in prison like a sad gym rat. But slow-mo miracle, his hair started growing again. Spoiler alert. Meanwhile, the Philistine VIPs threw a party for Dagon, their false god. Yay! Our god totes delivered Samson to us. The crowd went wild. Our hero is toast. This guy wrecked our land, and now look who's grinding wheat. Then, when everyone was tipsy, they were bring out Samson. Let's LOL at him. So they dragged him out to be their clown and stuck him between two big pillars. Samson whispered to the kid holding his hand, "Hey bro, let me feel those pillars. Just wanna lean for a sec." The whole place was packed, like 3,000 people, even the roof had VIPs, all watching him get roasted. Then Samson prayed, "Yo Lord God, remember me just one more time, please. Give me the strength to avenge my eyes." He grabbed the two center pillars, one with each hand, and braced himself. "Here we go. Let me go down with the Philistines," he shouted, and with one massive push, boom, the whole place caved in. He took out more people in that moment than in his entire life. His fam came to get his body and buried him near his dad, Manoah, between Zorah and Eshtaol. Samson had been Israel's judge for 20 wild years. Judges chapter 17. Up in the Ephraim hills was this dude named Micah. And Micah was like, "Hey mom, remember that 1,100 shekels you lost and totally cursed about? Yeah, awkward. I took it." And his mom goes, "Oh bless your heart, sweetie. May the Lord totally bless you for being honestish." Then he gave the silver back to his mom, and she was like, "I was totally gonna give this silver to the Lord for you, to make a statue and a fancy molded thingy. So now, I'm giving it back to you." But Micah gave the money again, and his mom only took 200 shekels and handed it to this dude who made a carved idol and a molten image. And Micah kept them in his man cave shrine. Micah decked out his house like a full-on DIY temple, made his own priest outfit and household gods, and he was like, "Yo son, you're the priest now. Oh, and by the way, there was no king in Israel back then, so everybody just did whatever felt super right to them." Then this young bro, a Levite from Bethlehem in Judah, was just backpacking around looking for a place to vibe. And as he's wandering, he rolls into Micah's neighborhood in the hills of Ephraim. Micah's like, "Hey dude, where you from?" And the guy's like, "I'm a Levite man from Bethlehem. Just looking for somewhere chill to stay, Micah goes, "Dude, live here. Be my spiritual bro, like a priest dad, and I'll hook you up with 10 silver coins a year, some fresh threads, and food, totally all-inclusive." So the Levite's rad, and he moved in. The Levite totally vibed with the arrangement, and Micah basically adopted him like his own son. Then Micah officially made the Levite his personal priest, and the guy just stayed there in Micah's house doing his holy thing. And Micah was all, "OMG, this is totally divine. I've got a Levite now, so the Lord is for sure gonna bless me big time." Judges chapter 18. Back in those days, there was no king in Israel, right? And the tribe of Dan was all, "We still haven't scored our turf yet." So they sent 5 gnarly dudes, total warriors, from Zorah and Eshtaol to scope out some prime land. And when they cruised up to the hills of Ephraim and rolled up at Micah's pad, they totally crashed there. While chilling nearby, they were, "Wait, that voice sounds familiar." So they were all, "Yo, who brought you here, dude? What's your deal? What are you even doing in this place?" And the young Levite was like, "Oh, so here's the scoop. Micah totally hired me, and I'm his full-time priest now." Then the brothers said, "Can you check in with God for us? We just want to know if this trip's gonna be a total win." And the priest was like, "For sure, brothers. Go in peace. The Lord's got your path covered, smooth waves ahead." So the 5 guys dipped out and found this chill little spot called Laish. The people there were super relaxed, no drama, no rulers, no stress. Total beach town vibes. And they were far from their peeps, the Zidonians, and didn't mess with anybody else. When they got back to Zorah and Eshtaol, their crew was like, "So, what's the scoop?" And the spies were like, "Let's roll. That place is super sweet. Why are you just standing there? Let's go seize the moment, dudes. Once we get there, it's gonna be chill. Those people are totally unbothered, and the land is huge. God already handed it to us. It's basically paradise with zero shortages. Unlimited resources, bro." So 600 Danites, fully decked out with war gear, rolled out from Zorah and Eshtaol, ready to make moves. They camped out near Judah at this place called Kirjathirim, and that spot's been called Mahanadan ever since. It's behind Kirjathirim, just so you know, for the road trip. So they cruised on up to Mount Ephraim and rolled into Micah's crib. Then those 5 dudes who scoped out Laish were like, "Bro, you know Micah's pad is packed with religious bling? There's an ephod, some household gods, plus these epic carved and molten statues. Like, are we gonna do something or what?" So they strolled over to the Levite spot, yeah, same place as Micah's, and gave the guy a super casual "what's up?" Meanwhile, the 600 Danite bros with war gear were just hanging by the gate, flexing silently. The 5 OG scouts slipped inside, straight up snagged the carved image, ephod, teraphim, and molten bling. The priest was still by the gate with the 6 hundo muscle dudes, like, what even is happening? The crew raided Micah's pad, hauling out all the spiritual swag. And the priest was like, dudes, what exactly are you doing?" And they hit him with, "Shuh, bro, zip it. Just come with us. Think about it. Do you want to be the spiritual hype guy for one dude, or the guy for a whole tribe? Total upgrade, my dude." The priest was totally stoked, so he scooped up the ephod, the household gods, and the carved statue, and joined the squad like it was his destiny. They dipped out, rolling deep with their kids, livestock, and gear out front, road trip style. After they got some distance, Micah's neighbors rallied up and went full Karen, chasing down the Danites. They yelled after them, and the Danite bros turned and were like, "Yo, Micah, what's your deal bringing this whole squad after us?" Micah was like, "Seriously? You stole my gods, my priest, literally everything sacred, and now you're all, what's your problem?" "That is my problem, bros." And the Danites clapped back with, "Watch your mouth, man, or some of our guys might snap and do something gnarly. And you really don't want that smoke, for you or your fam." So Micah saw they were stacked and wasn't about to throw hands, so he just turned around and sulked back home. Meanwhile, the Danite crew took all the looted goods and their new priest and rolled up on Laish, where everyone was just vibing in peace, and totally wiped them out and set the place on fire. Harsh. No one could help them, because they were way off the grid, far from Zidon, and didn't really have any squad ties. So the Danites just moved in and started over. They rebranded the whole city as Dan, after their ancestor Dan. Full legacy mode, even though it was originally called Laish. Then they set up Micah's fancy statue for worship. Jonathan, descended from Gershom, son of Manasseh, and his fam became priests for the Dan tribe, the official religious fam, until the land got straight up captured. So yeah, the Danites totally rocked with Micah's statue all the way until the house of God was set up in Shiloh. Judges chapter 19. So back when Israel was still kingless and doing its own thing, there was this Levite dude chillin' in the hills of Ephraim, and he got himself a concubine from Bethlehem, Judah. But whoa, she totally ghosted him and went back to her dad's pad in Bethlehem after messing around, and she was there for 4 months straight. So the Levite was, "I gotta go win her back, man," and rolled up with his servant and a couple of donkeys. She actually let him in, and her dad was totally stoked to see him. Her dad was all, "No way, you gotta stay, man." So the Levite kicked it for 3 days, eating, drinking, crashing their good times. On the 4th day, they got up early to peace out, but the dad was, "Bro, have a snack, chill a bit, and then bounce." So they both sat down, snacked, and sipped some wine, and the dad was all, "Just crash here tonight, make your heart happy, bro." The Levite was, "I really gotta go," but the dad basically insisted, and so, yeah, one more sleepover. 5th day, early rise. The dad was, "Dude, grab breakfast, you can't conquer the road on an empty stomach." So they hung out till after lunch again. When they finally got ready to leave with the concubine and servant, the dad was all, "Dude, it's already late, just stay tonight, vibe with us, party a bit. Hit the road fresh in the morning." But the Levite was, "Nah bro, I gotta dip." And they rolled out and ended up near Jebus, which is old school Jerusalem. They had the donkeys and his girl with him. It was getting late, and the servant was, "Yo, let's just crash here in Jebus. It's a city, they probably got snacks and beds." But the Levite said, "Nah man, this isn't an Israelite town. It's sketch, let's not. Let's keep moving to Gibeah." He added, "Come on dude, we'll find a spot in Gibeah or maybe Ramah. One of those should be chill." So they kept walking and made it to Gibeah just as the sun was doing its thing and totally setting. This place was part of Benjamin's turf. They veered into Gibeah to crash for the night. The Levite sat in the middle of the street. "Yo, anyone got room for a sleepover?" But no one invited them in. Total hospitality fail. Judges 19 verses 16 to 30. Dude, this got real. This old dude from the Ephraim Hills was coming back from work in the field, just vibing into town for the night. He was just a visitor in Gibeah, where all the locals were hardcore Benjamites. He looked up and spotted this traveler chilling in the street, so he was like, "Yo bro, where you headed? Where you coming from?" And the traveler was like, "So, I'm on the road from Bethlehem, Judah back to the mountain zone of Ephraim. That's home base. I made a pit stop in Bethlehem, but now I'm cruising to the Lord's house, and nobody's invited me to crash yet." Then he added, "But we've got food for the donkeys, snacks and wine for me, my girl, and the crew. We're good on supplies. We just need a spot to crash, you know." The old man said, "Chill dude, peace be with you. I'll totally take care of everything. Just don't sleep on the street. Seriously, it's sketchy out there." So he brought him in, got the donkeys fed, and they all washed their feet, classic road trip move, and had a little food and drink to unwind. But then, whoa, plot twist, the town bros, like total degenerate scumbags, surrounded the house, banging on the door and yelling to the host, "Yo, send out that guy who came to stay with you. We want to know him." And not in a friendly way. This was super bad vibes. The old man came out and was like, "No way, dudes. This is seriously messed up. He's under my roof. It's not cool to treat him like this." Then he said, "Okay, I've got my daughter here. She's never been with a guy, and his concubine too. I'll bring them out, and you can do your thing with them if you must. But don't be gross to this dude, okay?" Yeah, horrifying. But the city dudes weren't having it. So the host pushed the concubine outside, and the guys did awful things to her all night until the sun came up. Totally sick. At dawn, she stumbled back to the house and collapsed at the door. She just laid there, not moving, till the sun was up. Her man woke up in the morning, opened the door to leave, and whoa, there she was, passed out on the doorstep, hands stretched out like she was reaching for safety. He said, "Hey, get up, let's roll out." But she didn't answer. So he picked her up, put her on his donkey, and hit the road. When he got home, he did something super gnarly and dramatic. He took a knife, cut her up into 12 pieces, yeah, like for real, and shipped the pieces to every tribe in Israel. Everyone who saw it was like, "Bro, what even is this? Nothing this insane has ever happened since we left Egypt. We need to talk about this ASAP." Judges chapter 20. So basically, everyone in Israel was, "Nope, we're not letting this slide." From Dan all the way to Beersheba plus Gilead, everybody rolled up to Mizpeh to chat with God. All the tribal big kahunas showed up too. 400,000 sword-slinging foot dudes, total commitment vibes. Meanwhile, the Benjamites were, "Oh, Israel's meeting up." Then the Israelites go, "Spill the tea, what exactly went down here?" So the Levite, aka the girl's husband, goes, "Okay, so me and my lady were just trying to crash in Gibeah, right? Chillin', minding our business. But then these dudes from the city totally mobbed the house like wild animals. They tried to off me and did unspeakable stuff to my girl. She didn't make it. So yeah, I cut her up and sent her all over the land, cause this was next level disgusting. Israel needed to know. So squad, what do we do about this mess?" I'm listening. Everyone was like, "No one's heading home. Not today, Satan. Here's the plan. We're gonna draw lots and handle Gibeah. Full send. We'll pick guys from every tribe, 10 out of 100, 100 out of 1,000, to bring snacks and gear, and then we're gonna march in and deal with that gross behavior Gibeah pulled." So basically the whole nation was united, totally synced up like one body with beachy braids and bad intentions. Then Israel's leaders sent a DM to Benjamin. Care to explain the psycho behavior happening in your territory? Hand over those worthless creepers from Gibeah. They've gotta go permanently. We need to cancel this evil from Israel. But the tribe of Benjamin? Total ghosting. They weren't hearing it. Instead, the Benjamites started gearing up for war. They were "let's ride, fam," and gathered at Gibeah to square up. Their squad? 26,000 sword dudes from the cities plus 700 extra elite fighters from Gibeah. Oh, and check this. They had 700 left-handed sharpshooters who could sling rocks with insane precision. Hit a hair level. Legends. Meanwhile, the rest of Israel had 400,000 sword dudes. All super battle ready. This was gonna be gnarly. Israel went to the house of God and were like, "Hey Lord, who should go first into battle against our bros Benjamin?" And the Lord was like, "Send Judah first." So next morning, Israel set up camp near Gibeah, ready to rock. Then the Israelites stepped up, geared for battle, facing off with Benjamin like it was game day. But whoa, Benjamin came charging out of Gibeah and wrecked them. 22,000 Israelites were totally flattened that day. Israel regrouped though. They were like, okay, we got this. Deep breath. Shake it off. They lined up again at the same battle spot. Then they went back to the Lord and cried till sundown, asking, "Should we seriously go fight Benjamin again, even though they're our fam?" And God was like, "Yeah, go for it." So Israel rolled back in for round 2. And guess what? Benjamin again came out swinging and totally thrashed them. Another 18,000 Israelites bit the dust. Brutal. Judges 20 verses 26 to 48. Battle round 3, but with vibes. Everyone in Israel, literally the whole squad, went to God's house and cried their eyes out. They were fasting and worshiping and offering burnt vibes till sundown. They asked the Lord what to do again, 'cause the ark was there and everything was super holy. And Phinehas, Aaron's grandson, was standing there and they were all, "Lord, should we go back into battle against Benjamin? Or chill out?" And God was like, "Yup, go tomorrow. I'm totally handing them over to you." So Israel set up secret ambush bros all around Gibeah. On day 3, they rolled in again, just like before, and lined up for battle outside Gibeah. The Benjamites came out, ready to throw down, and started killing Israelites like before, around the highways and stuff, like 30 dudes. They were all, look, they're dropping like flies again. But Israel was like, "Run away, guys. Make them chase us to the roads." Total bait plan. Then all the ambush bros popped up from Baltimore and the fields. Surprise squad, y'all. Like 10,000 chosen warriors came crashing down on Gibeah, and the fight got gnarly. But Benjamin didn't even see what was coming. The Lord totally came through. Benjamin got wrecked. Israel took out 25,100 dudes with swords that day. It was savage. When Benji's crew saw they were getting owned, they were, "Wait, what?" Israel had faked him out hard with that whole retreat thing. Then the ambush bros rushed into Gibeah, sliced and diced the whole town. Brutal energy. They had this signal, right? A huge smoky bonfire thing. "Yo, it's go time." So while Israel pretended to bounce, Benjamin was all, "Haha, got him again." They even took out another 30. But then bam! Smoke started shooting up from Gibeah like a sky torch. Benjamites turned around like, that's not great. Israel flipped the switch, turned back around, and Benji's bros were like, "We're toast." So they ran for the hills, but Israel was all over them. Everywhere. Just mowing them down from all sides. They trapped the whole crew, chased them like surfers on gnarly waves, and beat them down near sunrise. 18,000 brave Benjamites fell right there. Total wipeout. The rest ran off toward Rimmon Rock. Israel sniped 5,000 on the roads, and another 2,000 near Jittim. It was just relentless. So the final death count? 25,000 Benjamite warriors with swords. Total legends, but yeah, totally done. Only 600 made it out alive. They ran to Rock Rimmon and camped there for 4 months. Super hiding vibes. Meanwhile, Israel went scorched earth mode. Sliced through towns, wiped out every beast and bro they came across, and torched all the cities. Literal ashes. Judges chapter 21. The dudes of Israel had made this hardcore vow in Mizpeh. "No way are we letting any of our daughters marry a Benjamin bro." Everyone went to God's house, stayed all day till evening, crying their eyes out. "OMG, Lord God of Israel, how did we get here? Are we seriously missing a whole tribe now?" The next day they got up early, built an altar, and made peace and burnt offerings. Super spiritual vibes. Okay, so who totally ditched the Mizpah meetup with the Lord? 'Cause they'd sworn, if anyone skips it, they're totally toast. But then Israel was like, we feel bad for our bros in Benjamin. It's now they're down a whole tribe. What do we even do? We made this whole no daughters for Benjamin's promise. Wait, did anyone not show up to the Mizpah meeting? And surprise, no one came from Jabesh Gilead. They did a quick head count. Yup, Jabesh Gilead totally ghosted. So they sent 12,000 of their toughest warriors and were like, go full-on sword mode on Jabesh Gilead. Men, women, kids, everyone. Oh, and don't forget, waste every dude and any woman who's, been with a dude. They found 400 young virgins who were totally unhooked and brought them back to Shiloh. Then Israel sent a chill message to the Benjamites still hiding out at Rock Rimmon. Hey guys, peace out, it's cool now. So Benjamin rolled back into the scene, and Israel gave them those 400 Jabesh Gilead girls. But oops, it still wasn't enough. The Israelites were still bummed because this whole situation was such a divine fracture. Okay, so how do we find more wifeys for the Benny bros now that their ladies are all gone? We gotta keep their tribe alive, right? No erasing Benjamin from the squad. But ugh, we can't break our pinky swear and give them our daughters. That vow is cursed. Wait, there's that Lord party in Shiloh every year. The one by the Bethel Shechem highway, east of the road, south of Lebonah. So they told Benjamin, here's the plan, hide in the vineyards, brothers. When the Shiloh girls come out to dance their hearts out, you rush in and grab a bride. Then bounce back to Benjamin land. If their dads or bros start flipping out, we'll just be like, chill, it wasn't a award giveaway, it was a divine meet cute. So yeah, Benjamin pulled it off. They snatched their dancing queens, each one matched up, then headed home to fix their towns and settle down. After that, everyone pieced out back to their own tribe, their own fam, and claimed their slice of the promised land. 'Cause real talk, there was no king in Israel back then. Everyone just kinda did their own thing, vibing however they felt.